Hello everybody, welcome back to the Buffness. Addressing the elephant in the room, I went from my typical recording spot of here, which has a lot of shadows, and just by turning just a little bit, the camera quality is a lot better. So it's kind of a weird, stupid fix, and I can't believe I didn't change that for months, but now it's changed. Anyways, right here, I have a brand new Sirius V4 from LDY. If you watched my Sirius V4 review, if you haven't, you need to. That's probably my best video. They said, LDY, that they would send me out a new Sirius if I beat up the old one. I did, and I don't know if you can see that, but it has Buffness engraved into the handle. So that's super cool. Thank you, LDY. I now have two Sirius V4s, a beater and this guy. So it's a great knife. Really enjoy it, and I love that review. Anyways, in this package is a very big unboxing. It's not something foreign to this channel, so it's not a huge unboxing. But this video is not just an unboxing of this Bally. I'm going to make it a comparison with the Thai Kraken, because Thai Kraken is awesome. This Bally is my favorite Bally to ever exist, and we're going to compare them, because why not make this video a lot of fun. And the spoon is shred in this box. I get comments on pretty much every video saying, bro, why did you use a spoon to open your stuff? Only the OGs know that, and only the OGs will know that. But all of you know that I use a spoon. Every single video, I have never failed. Ta-da. Tsunami. Yes, this is my third Tsunami. I've gotten rid of the previous two, and I'm so excited. Before we get into this, though, I want to shout out the person who sold me the Tsunami, Nick Terry. Now, Nick messaged me on Instagram. I said that I was looking for a Tsunami. He was the first guy to say he had one. He said, I really don't want to let go of this, but I could for the right price. And I was like, name your price. He gave me the price, and it was right around the ballpark where I was planning on paying. But this guy, it seemed kind of shady. I was like, I don't know about Nick here. They said he had 0 Instagram followers, and I was very concerned. So I made sure he was legit. He apparently does a lot of sales on Facebook at something Nick Terry, and he was legit. I got some people to look into him, and he did everything I asked, like doing a time card and all that. Great dude. I'm going to comment on his reference post right now. But if you ever want to do business with Nick Terry or Tick Nary on Instagram, then go for it. This is probably the smoothest deal I've done in a long time. But as you can see, we have the Tsunami info card in here. Certificate of authenticity. This is Tsunami 347. This is a Prod 9, which is the same production as my first Tsunami. My first one being Production 9. Number 384. This is number 347. Now, let's give this guy some flips. I'm not sure what weight configuration is in this. It doesn't feel like there's any pins. And I specifically remember my Production 9 Tsunami did not come with weights. It had no weights. So this probably doesn't either. But Thai Kraken weights actually fit. And I just ordered some titanium Thai Kraken weights for my Thai Kraken because I heard that they enhance the sound and just make it flip better. So I bought some of those to check it out. Now, the Tsunami, as most of you probably know, is my favorite Balisong to ever exist. I sing this thing's praises for days, and I recommend it to literally anybody. If you're looking for a Grail, if you have $700 or even like $500 for a trainer, and you only want a trainer, the Tsunami trainer is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite trainers. All in all, the Tsunami is just perfect. I know a lot of people say that there's no perfect Balisong. It's kind of what the Tsunami is, though. It's perfect to me. Now let's just get this oil worked in, and then we will start the comparison with my other very expensive Squid product, the half dress Thai Kraken. It has a Damascus blade from Blade Show West 2024, and it's great. Thai Kraken is another really good squid product. I love it. And the Tsunami is so good. I miss having a raw one around. Actually, wait a second. I just remembered, I've never had a raw Tsunami. I was kind of getting sidetracked. The comparison will have to be postponed another minute or so. But my first Tsunami was a number 384 of Prod 9, and it was blue. That blue faded, and then I used it as like my mod work practice piece for a really long time. I anodized that thing like 6 times before I then traded it to Bogan for that DLC one that I just had. I eventually got sick of the DLC coating. I was like, yeah, this is kind of boring. So I traded it, or no, I sold it, and then I paid a little bit more money on top of that cash for this guy. But this is my first raw Tsunami. It appears to be like a satin one, and it feels great. Now, the Thai Kraken. I haven't made a video on the Thai Kraken yet, besides like my Blade Show haul in that one video at Blade Show, like 15 minutes after I bought this. But those don't count. I've never had this guy in the spotlight, just like this video. It's not necessarily in the spotlight, but you get what I'm saying. This is its moment to shine before I give it a full review, which will come in the future. I love the Thai Kraken. It is a very good flipper, very competent. Kind of does everything I want it to, like a flipper should. It's titanium. This one is about as much of a Grail as you can get a Thai Kraken, because of the Damascus blade. There's no Damascus handles yet. There's no modded slabs for the Thai Kraken. None of that stuff. So this is pretty much the most expensive Thai Kraken you can make. And roughly it's worth like $800, $700. Like I saw one go for sale for like $850, which is right up there with a Nami. So, I mean, these are Squid's 2 Grails basically. But when comparing these, there's a lot of differences, like a lot of them. Starting off with just the specs, both of these are grade 5 titanium, 6AL4V. We have an S35EN blade here. I'm not even sure how Damascus steel, like blade steel, works. It's a good quality blade steel, I know that. The edge is held up very well. I really wish I knew that, but Damascus blade on here, S35EN here. But someone correct me in the comments, I'm sure someone knows that. But we have T10 titanium screws on both. Both of them are blue, so that's kind of cool. And this is where things get a lot different. The handle shape and texturing and all that is wildly different. So if you look at these handles, the Thai Kraken has a lot more squared off handles. Sure, they're still chamfered and stuff, very comfortable. But the Nami is a lot more round, just in general. Handles feel a lot skinnier. It feels more nimble. Another big difference here is the texturing of the handles. The Thai Kraken is sandwich, so you get that grip from kind of gripping in the channel that's not there. The channel gap or whatever. The gap between the slabs. And that provides good grip. But other than that, there's no face texturing on the Thai Kraken, which is kind of annoying. I would prefer Squid to make the Thai Kraken more expensive and to have a texture. I feel like the Thai Kraken was too cheap, to be honest. I would have much preferred them to kind of go all out on it and just make it cost a little more. But I don't really feel it lacking grip. When I flip the Thai Kraken, flips very well. I don't find it super duper slippery. Unless it's like just been oiled. This has just been oiled and it's not bad, but this is about as slippery as it'll get. Whereas the Tsunami, we have this great mill texturing that is super nice. Feels good, provides good grip. It's shallow, but it is there enough to actually do stuff. So that's what you like to see. The hole pattern, very different. That doesn't really matter. Both hole patterns provide grip. The Tsunami a little more so because the holes are bigger. I find myself actually gripping there more than on here. As for the jimping, that's a big win for the Thai Kraken actually. The Thai Kraken has great jimping. It's pretty much Kraken jimping. It might even be the exact same. And I don't have that Kraken on me. But this is great jimping. Looks just like you'd want your perfect jimping to be. The Tsunami, however, is probably some of the worst jimping ever. A lot of people say that. I hands down agree. Like, it doesn't really do anything. And it's not even on the inside of the handle. I highly recommend the zippy jimping inserts. They're pretty sweet. They just go right here and give you like 4 layers of very aggressive jimping. That helps a lot on like choker fans, so it doesn't do that. That's partially due to just me not being warmed up, but also partially due to it being kind of slippery. So yeah, jimping, not great on the Tsunami. Going down to the adjustable weight systems, they're both quite similar and quite different. Both of these do have adjustable weight systems. That's great. People love those. And like, honestly, it's going to the Thai Kraken for the weight system. I love this Thai Kraken weight system. I'm gonna yap about it for a bit. It's super cool. So you have 20 weight pins that come with the Thai Kraken, and you can just line them all up here. I think there's more holes than there are pins, yeah. Yeah, and you can just kind of layer them up and take them out and just get it to the perfect balance. I currently have 7, I believe, in each handle, and that means I took out 6 total, and that's pretty good balance. If you want to fan a little better, you can take out even more, but at that point, rollovers and like chaplains and stuff start to feel a little bit off. But having 7 in each is kind of a perfect middle ground for me. As for the Tsunami, I always run my Tsunami with no weights. Having the weights in the ends, it feels really bad. I've never ever liked it. I always just take them out if they're in it, but if I end up having none, I just don't touch it. Like, I never ever want a weight in my Tsunami. This is like the most neutral state a Tsunami can be in. And a neutral Tsunami is really good. That's kind of what a flipper wants. Now, some people do like to put like 1 or 2 pins in there. I've never seen anybody run 3. That just seems insane. But people who really like end weight and extra momentum, they'll put a weight in there, and they like that. And that's okay. I think it's good that the Tsunami has a weight system, but it does nothing for me. I would never touch it. While the Thai Kraken, if it had no weights, I'd probably want it to have weights or like spacers or something, because it would be super handle light. Thai Kraken definitely needs the weight system. Tsunami could go without. Either way, they're still both very cool because you can just crack open the handle and there's little undermilling holes that you can throw some pins in. So that's great. Now, sound, that's a big one. Well, okay, sound test of the Tsunami first, I guess. Man, I can't shortstop. And then for the Thai Kraken. The Thai Kraken sounds pretty bad. That's something I've noticed ever since the beginning. I don't know if it's due to like the tune. I've heard somebody say, I think it was Zippy actually, that the ends of the handles are just like ever so slightly thinner this way than they are up here, and that leads to the tune being a little bit wonky. I've seen some people with Thai Krakens who they can't get the tap out of, or where they can't get the tap out of. Like that's just insane. Like my Thai Kraken has perfect tolerances. Like you have no wiggle at all, no play at all, swings good, and it still sounds pretty weak. I just ordered those titanium pins, and like I said, somebody on Instagram mentioned it really leveled up their tune, which doesn't make any sense. It like made it sound really good and have a ring, like a very low pitched ring. I have no clue how that works. But the Tsunami, it sounds pretty good. I like the sound of the Tsunami. It is on the weaker side of sounds nowadays. Like it doesn't have any sort of ring. The ice pick is okay, but it also doesn't have any sort of glassiness. Like the DLC Hydro I have sounds really good. This unoiled Sirius V4 sounds pretty good too, nice and glassy. This JK Designs Light Tech, this should be one of the sooner videos. Sounds similar to a Tsunami, I would say. Sound-wise, they're pretty comparable, like both mediocre sounds. I think this thing could sound a lot better. So Tsunami, not bad sound. Could be a lot better for sure. Like a Kraken whoops this thing when it comes to sound. Now, coming down to the very last thing when it comes to these two Grails by Squid, the flipping. Tsunami is my favorite flipping Bally out there. I would take a Tsunami over any other Bally on the planet pretty much any day. Thai Kraken, funny thing about this was what I used in Bally Comp. Not this Thai Kraken, this is my second one. But I used a Thai Kraken in Bally Comp. It felt really, really good to me at that time. And it flipped really good. This one also flips very, very good. Huge fan of the Thai Kraken flipping wise. Like I'm trying to think of what Bally's I'd put roughly around the Thai Kraken flipping wise. My DLC Hydro flips pretty close. The DLC Hydro flips so good. I need to make a video on that. It's phenomenal. Like I've been flipping that so much. This thing flips somewhat similar to a full G10 Light Tech, I'd say. Both of them just a little bit lacking on end weight. And I don't know, something about them just makes me want to put them side by side flipping wise. They're of course very, very different, but they feel kind of similar. But those are all really good things to put the Thai Kraken up against. Definitely not the best Bally out there, but it's really good. I would put the Thai Kraken in my top 10 for sure. Maybe like number 7. I don't think it quite makes top 5 Ballies I've ever flipped. But this Tsunami, out of every single Bally I've ever flipped, it has stayed number 1 and has never left. These are probably my 2 favorite Squid Ballies. I don't think I'd put... Well, okay, that's a lie. Tsunami, of course, if it's my favorite Bally ever, it's my favorite Squid Bally. Thai Kraken, Number 3 in my Squid lineup, I would take a speed channel aluminum Kraken or a spiral Kraken or something over the Thai Kraken flipping wise. That's kind of a hot take, but it's true. And I know that contradicts my Squid ranking video I did, but times are a-changin'. Anyways, I'm super duper happy to have a Tsunami again. I was without a Tsunami for about 2 days. I ordered this, or bought it from the guy, I think Wednesday. He shipped it out, and now it's Friday, and it's here. So absolutely crazy, especially with Thanksgiving. I don't know how that works, but Postal Service didn't fail me here, that's for sure. Anyways, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If any of you are still watching this video, once again, an announcement that I really should have made at the beginning of this video. I'm going to tally up the giveaway winners this weekend, and my next video should just be a short little giveaway winner announcement for the Volt Pro, Teflon Volt, and Wing. Super excited to get those out. The reason it's taken me so long is because I was getting like new entries almost every hour. It's finally slowed down to about 1 or 2 a day, which is great. And now I just need to tally up my 400 plus entries, give each of them a number, and enter those numbers into like a number generator. So that'll take me a bit, but it's finally time. So yeah, Thai Kraken and Tsunami are phenomenal. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm sure it was quite entertaining because not a lot of content on either of these Ballies, and people really want to know about them. Okay, see you guys.